Hello my dear children of class 11 science. Today again I welcome all of you through this mode of teaching that we are already doing YouTube mode, and in today's class we start new chapter under unit number 10. Oscillation and wave is the unit, and the chapter that we are going to start is superposition of waves. And the term which we do in this particular superposition of waves are interference and beats. Now this concept of interference, children, is very important. You will be learning in class 12 also in one of the unit, and even you learn in higher studies. Okay. Now wave, as you know, is a term basically we understood as a disturbance which transfer energy and even the momentum without transferring the matter. But this disturbance is actually due to the vibration or oscillation of particles. Okay, and these particles which vibrate in a different manner. Okay. Now in a medium, if one wave can propagate from a source, then more than one wave can even propagate from in a medium. That means in a given medium, more than one wave can also propagate, or it can pass through. So when more than one wave can propagate in a medium, then this wave can make the particle to vibrate independently. Okay. So under this case, what happened? The two waves propagate in a medium can have a superposition. That means they can overlap or they can superpose each other, and due to this superposition, what happened? Some redistribution of light energy takes place, some redistribution of wave which takes place, because wave carry energy, as I said, and it can be a light energy, it can be a sound energy. And children, for information, sound can also travel in the form of wave. See, you have learned already in class 9, 10 also. Sound travel in the form of wave, and sound propagate in the form of vibration of medium particles. And you will be learning in class 12, the light can also travel in the form of wave. So whether it's a light wave or sound wave which can propagate in a medium, and if there are more than one, that means two or more than two waves which propagate in a medium, this wave can superpose. They can superpose each other at any point in a medium. And due to that superposition, there is some redistribution of energy takes place. Okay, and this phenomenon of redistribution of energy takes place in a medium due to the superposition of two or more waves is actually called as interference. It is called what? Interference. So under this particular chapter, the first thing that we need to study with the term called interference. Okay, but this interference is actually based on the principle, as I said, and this principle is called principle of superposition. So we start now with principle of superposition. Principle of what? Superposition. Now to understand principle of superposition, okay, suppose consider that there are two or more than two progressive waves. Two or what? More than two. Let me just add on two or more than what? Then two what? Progressive wave. More than two progressive waves, and these waves travels. So consider these waves travels simultaneously. Waves are traveling what? Simultaneously. Okay, in a medium. So when two or more than two waves propagates or travels or simultaneously in a medium without affecting the motion of the another, then there will be a resultant displacement of each particle of the medium. That means each particle will displace by both the waves. That means there is a what? Then there is a what? Resultant displacement. A resultant displacement. There is a resultant displacement. Okay, of each particle. Each what? Particle of the medium. Resultant displacement of each particle of the medium, and that can occur at any instant. That can occur at what? Any instant. And this resultant displacement is equal to the vector sum. Let me write down the word vector sum of the displacement. Vector sum of the what? Displacement. Vector sum of the displacement produced by vector sum of the displacement. Okay, produced by two waves. So we are taking two waves, but it can principle of superposition can define even more than what? Two waves which can superpose each other. And this particular principle is called, this principle is only called principle of superposition. This principle is called principle of superposition. Principle of what? Superposition. So children, superposition of wave is expressed by the principle called principle of superposition. But to define principle of superposition, it should be more than one wave. It can be two or more than two waves which can propagate in a medium. And basically what type of wave we are taking? A progressive wave. And it can be a progressive simple harmonic wave which can travel simultaneously in a medium. So when this wave propagates simultaneously in a medium, then each particle medium have a displacement. Displacement produced to each particle medium by both the wave independently. And this displacement makes the resultant, to calculate what displacement? Resultant displacement. And resultant displacement of each particle of medium at any instant is equal to the displacement, vector sum of the displacement. Now I am using the word vector sum because displacement is a vector quantity which can be positive or negative, produced by two waves. And this particular statement is called principle what? Superposition. Okay, principle what? Superposition. And children, for your information, this principle is applied for any type of wave. Any type of wave, whether it's a sound wave or light wave, okay, or it can be other wave like that. Okay, so this principle is very important as far as the superposition of wave is concerned. Now the same statement now we can write mathematically. So for example, suppose I write down if y1 comma y2 comma y3 dot dot dot. Okay, suppose these are the what? Displacement. These are the displacement of a particle, of a particular particle, displacement of a particular particle, okay, particle in a medium produces by what? Produced by, say, number of waves, produced by number of waves. So let me write down number of waves. But student, for information, this principle of superposition can be occur with two waves superpose each other, or three waves, or more than that also. Okay, number of what? Waves. Then your resultant displacement. Then I write down your resultant displacement, and we write that displacement of that particle, say y is equals to y1 plus y2 plus y3 dot dot dot, and I write this displacement by the vector quantity. So we put arrowhead on this. So if I put arrowhead on this, means this displacement is a vector quantity whose displacement can be positive or what? Negative. But this resultant displacement is the vector sum of the individual displacement, of all the displacement. And this principle is called principle of superposition. Now even children, that the principle of superposition means that if a number of waves are traveling in a medium, then each one travel independently. So each wave travel independently as if the other wave were not present at all. So that each wave can displace a particle, any particle in the medium independently. What? It displaces the particle independently. Okay, that's why the shape and the other characteristics travel independently. Okay, and shape and characteristics of any wave are not changed due to the presence of other waves. This is actually seen in what? Practice. This is actually a real practice. That's why when we what? Listen an orchestra, okay, to an orchestra, then we receive a complex sound. You know why we receive a complex sound when we listen to the orchestra? Is due to the superposition of which wave? Sound wave of different what? Different what? Characteristics produced by different musical instrument. Okay, still we can recognize separately the sound of different instrument. Okay, similarly, our radio antenna, you know, radio antenna is open to the wave of different frequencies, transmitted simultaneously by different radio station. But when we tune the radio, okay, of a particular station, we receive the program of that station only. As you know, you have done it already at a particular frequency, if even the other stations are present. Thus, the principle of superposition hold not only for mechanical wave is like transverse and longitudinal wave, okay, or like a progressive wave. This principle of superposition is also hold for electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves are the what wave? Light wave. So this is the introductory part of this chapter called principle of superposition. And due to this principle of superposition, more than one wave can superpose each other. So that due to that, there is some redistribution of energy takes place due to the vibration of particles independently, and due to that the displacement of the particle is measured by the principle of superposition. And that phenomenon in which there is a distribution of energy due to the superposition of two or more wave, okay, is actually called as interference. We call as interference of what? Wave. We call as what? Interference wave. So children, interference of wave is defined as the what? As the phenomenon of redistribution of energy in the, okay, energy due to the superposition of two or more waves, okay, which travel simultaneously in medium and can propagate in any of the direction. So I've just made the introduction of this chapter called principle of superposition. Now in the next YouTube video you will learn the interference which can produce by a wave can be classified into two types. One is called constructive interference, one is called destructive interference.